Hey beauty lovers and fellow entrepreneurs, I'm Yegi, the owner and founder of Yegi Beauty. Within 5 years of being my own boss, I was able to grow Yegi Beauty into a multi-million-dollar company. This podcast is where I share what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in the beauty industry. Hello. Welcome back to the Yegi Project. I'm your host, Yegi, and I want to let you guys know that if you are interested in coaching, we have officially launched and updated our menu with services where we can reach you and help you along your journey of growing your business and self. Please let me know if you have any questions about that, but just super brief, you can check out more details at theyegiproject.com. But also, if you are a lash artist, specifically in the beauty industry, we are launching some very specific niche market classes, and you'll see more of that as well. And we'll link all of that through the Yegi Project. But again, if it's specific lash or beauty industry related, you can also find it at yegibeauty.com. Now, with that said, let's jump into today's episode and what it's going to be about. So for this specific episode, I do want to share a little bit of a story but a little bit of my history. So maybe about 7 years ago, when I started into this journey of starting my own business and self-development, I really started believing in the law of attraction or manifestation, or also the relationship we have with money and how we feel about it in order to achieve and get more of it. So for that reason, I connected today with a manifestation and coach, and her name is Petia, which she will kind of tell us her approach and what she has to offer and her knowledge in order for us to have a better relationship with money and in order to get more of it, or how to get more of it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Today we have Petia joining us in order to discuss our love for the abundant mentality. And actually, she's an alignment abundance coach, right? I said that correctly.
Yes.
Awesome. And we want to discuss, so she helps a lot of women attract more money into their business while maintaining their ideal or soulmate clientele. So I'm very excited. This is close to my heart. I've done a lot of personal development and research and working on myself in order to get to that mindset as well, because I do believe it's a huge part of somebody being successful if they have the right mindset when it comes to abundance, right? So, and also, self-love, self-care. I know you're also big on that, and so am I. And I hope our listeners will learn so much from you and benefit from your advice for today. But before I go all over the place, I'm getting excited to talk. Tell me a little bit about you if you want to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Absolutely. And first of all, let me acknowledge you for doing all of this work, for having this beautiful podcast, and for sharing with others the inspiration and what is possible and bringing in the guests. I think it's so beautiful. And it's interesting because I feel like my own growth journey also started with listening to the podcast and listening to other women and feeling inside wow, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too, right? Because
I love that.
I feel like it's so easy for people to look at us where we are today, living a life, me and my husband, we are traveling in beautiful locations, living in Tulum in Mexico. And right now we are visiting our cabin in California. And, I was able to create multiple 6-figure online business, working along with women that I love and admire and just that inspire me. It's so beautiful. And so it's so easy for people to look at me and be like, wow, good for you. Good for you. You publish a book. Good for you. You have your own podcast. Good for you. What's in it for me? So I feel like it's very important to bring people on the whole journey. It's not only the highlights, the butterflies and the rainbows, but really all the hardship, all the truth, all the story where, most people cannot pronounce my name, it's where is this coming from, right? So I have been born and raised in a very small country in Czech Republic, which is in the center of the Europe. That's where my accent, my name is from. I took the last name of my husband, but we didn't change it yet, because it's just all the paperwork, everything. So
I know, I totally get it.
Deal with that. But because I came from that country, because I came from that small place, there was a lot of like small mindset, a lot of scarcity, a lot of competition, a lot of comparing. And also for me to be like living in a place that I personally didn't feel safe as a little girl, because my stepfather was mentally and physically abusive, which led me into believing that I'm unworthy and unlovable. So when you say that you believe in, self-love and self-care, of course, that's where it all starts. When we are growing up, if we don't feel it, how we are supposed to know what it even looks like or feel like to feel safe, to be ourselves, to feel good enough to receive the money. And when I'm teaching abundance, money is the cherry on the top. My clients will get the money, but it's because they start to be authentically themselves. That's because they truly connect with their purpose and align with it. That's how they get the money. But all of the abundance, the health, the relationships, the freedom, that's just priceless. And this is coming from...
And it's really related to, I think, people generalize and say, do what you love, be true to yourself, and money will come. But that's just like the outcome and the very simple way of putting it, the phrase. But it's really what you're talking about, right? That's what you're really focusing your dedication, your studies, and your business on.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is that we get to remember that life is a journey. Like next week, we're just launching a soulful success experience that it's about the journey to your soul, to remembering who you are. It's, online experience with other 20 speakers. And just today we are publishing and launching our book. So we are super excited with my team.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Tell us about this book. I love books.
Oh, girl, you should see me. Oh my gosh, I have like hundreds of books. It's like crazy. I love reading. And when I was a little girl, like that was my escape into the books. So this book, it's called 21 Days to Soulful Success. And it's me writing, but also the other speakers that we have for our online experience, that it's next week, August 17 to 24. Where each of them is really sharing their experience to creating soulful success. And it's called experience and not like a summit, because this is very experiential. We are teaching you how to feel things in the body, how to shift your vibration, how to change the things on a cellular level. So it's not just like, oh, let me read a book and then I do nothing about it, right? Been there, done that. How many times like,
yes,
oh yeah, I know these things. I know this. Well, what are you doing about it, right? So this book, it's beautiful, powerful compilation. And I'm so biased because when I saw it, how it looks like after the months that we put into it together, I was like, this is so good. I would actually like buy it myself, because it's a book that is teaching you, but it also has like a journal prompt, and it has also exercises that you write in. Like how many times?
I love it. That's my favorite type of book. Yes. The one that gives you action items to take. And that's what our podcast is about too. At the end of each episode, we kind of tell people some action items that they can do in order to work on their personal development or business development. So I love it. I cannot wait to get my hands on it and read it. Where can we find that?
It's on Amazon. It's called Soulful Success. And, 21 Days to Soulful Success. And just like I said today, it came live. So I'm just like so excited.
So excited. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. Is this your first book you're publishing?
Yep.
Wow. What a milestone. Congratulations.
Yeah. I couldn't do it without my husband.
About a big milestone. What was one of the biggest challenges for you in the journey of publishing a book? What was the biggest challenge? That seems like, that was not a big deal now.
It's, like for me, it's just knowing that you're not meant to do this alone. Like, I have an amazing, incredible husband, he's very tech savvy. He is the one who like sees the big picture and the big vision, because I am more of like being present and being in tune. I'm more in the feminine energies. And of course, I'm a strategic coach. I tell people like how to do the things. That's beautiful. We it's not just like a woo-woo, but he's more of like, analytical, so he was there and he said like, let's do this experience. I'm like, no, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't like working a lot anymore. Because I used to have like 3-4 jobs at the same time. And now it's like having my 6-figure years and multiple 6-figure business now, working 2-3 days a week. That's like my biggest like life milestone. Besides marrying my husband, that's like another big milestone. He's a pretty amazing guy. So
I love to hear that. Well, it's very important to have a good partner in life. If it's a friend, family, husband, you need good people around you to feel good about yourself too, and your relationships, shape you. So I'm happy to hear that. And it's so nice hearing women praise their husbands versus complain about all the shortcomings of their husbands.
It's so easy, it's so easy to complain, but what do you do about it? I remember before I even met my husband, I was listening to a video from Tony Robbins, and he said something that stuck with me. And this is why I feel like our relationship is so beautiful too, after, years being together, is that when you treat the end of your relationships as the beginning, there will be no end.
Yeah.
And
I do remember hearing him talk about that. He's one of my guys to listen to too.
Yeah. So this is something that we get to do with our business, with our health. Like if you treat yourself at the beginning journey, like at the end, there will be no end. You will always find the energy to go for a walk or to journal or to talk to someone. And like you said, it's so important to have that support. I couldn't do this alone. I couldn't. When I started my business, Yegi, it was one show, like one girl's show. I was doing everything, creating my website, doing my posts, captions, editing my podcast, everything. And it was so tiring because I was doing like all the things. And how do you make money if you're doing all the things in the back end? So
of course, you need a team.
Yep.
That's also another hard thing about, being a small business owner too. Myself is initially it's hard for you to trust people to take on certain aspects. Like you've trusted your husband. For some people who don't have that, we take the route of hiring employees. And of course, like I have a whole other episode talking about when you should really like take the jump and hiring help, because you're right, as humans we can't do it alone, and we're not meant to be alone. So it's really just getting over that almost challenge of trusting people to let them into work on, this dream or whatever project you're working on. So I'm glad you found it so close near home and you work with your husband, and you guys sound like you're traveling, you're living your dream or your best life. I want to hear more about that. Can you share how it is kind of working virtually? Because I did do it for about a year. I did a US tour and I worked virtually for a year, and it had a lot of challenges for me with kind of keeping up with the team back at home, like communicating, I don't know, balancing work and fun. For me, it was a little bit challenging. Can you share your experience? How are you doing it? And are you forever on the go right now, or you're going back and forth from traveling and being at home?
So
that's really
if my husband would hear me now, he would be like, no, we're done, because he's like, I'm done. It's so much travel, because we lived in Vegas and then we travel a lot. We went to Europe. We went to Bali. Since last year, we live in Mexico. We're coming back to States to live in the fall. So he was like, I want to get a house and I want to get settled, so we have a little bit different personalities. For me, like, when I travel, I'm impacting people wherever I go. Wherever I go, I host retreats, workshops, teach women. So for me, it's a little different. He likes to have his own office, his own space, his own hours. I have clients all around the world. I have a team all around the world. We have a team in Mexico, in Philippines, in Europe, here in the United States. So for me, I'm so thankful that I have them. And now I see the benefits also of the time differences, because when I'm sleeping, my team is working because they're in Europe. You know what I mean? So I wake up, work is done, I can revise it, and they still have few hours of work. And like you said, like, it is about trust, but also what are you believing? I believe that I attract amazing people who believe in my mission, who believe in my vision, who want to grow with me. Like my team member this morning, she called me an angel. You know, there is so much love. There is so much appreciation because I am not going to allow anything else. Like we had other team members who were like, I don't want to say measuring up, but it wasn't just like a pure alignment. They had like different personalities, and I was so thankful for them because they showed me the contrast of what I'm going to allow and what do I desire in my business. And now my assistant and my team and everyone who is working with me, I am so deeply thankful for them, because you gotta remember, even if they don't do it perfectly, right? There's no perfection, but they are not doing it perfectly as you would. Well, there is only one you. And what are the activities that only you can do? It's so crucial to remember, because only I can do the podcast, only I can do the coaching, only I can do the retreats. Everybody can help me with everything else, with the book, with the captions, with the websites, doing sales pages, all of that. I know how to do it. Why would I do it? Why would I do it if I'm charging $1,000 a session, or, $5,000 for a VIP time with me, when my team can do it and I can focus on what lights me up? Because when I'm lit up, I'm magnetic and I can impact more people. So it's about putting the pride on the side and really last month has been the most challenging, I would say, in my life, because we have been pregnant and I lost the baby a couple weeks ago. So it was very, very, thank you. Like, Mom, you will understand. It's so hard and so challenging.
Very hard.
Those days, my team and my husband, they were carrying everything. Like for, weeks, I was like, I'm out. I can't. And, I communicated with my clients, but my clients, they were like, hey, if you need to call me anytime. Take your time. Don't worry about me. I love you. Call me anytime. And I'm like,
see, that's going back to what you were talking about, attracting it's almost, you said soulmate client, but it is soulmate team members and people around us too. So I've been really selective over the past years with who I keep on our team and who I keep around in my life as well, because like you said, it does really impact your day-to-day and your experience with your business and life. So I don't know. I just love hearing the way you say it, because I think it really resonates with people who need to hear it. Because sometimes we get stuck in our ways, or people get stuck in their doubts and fears of trusting people or having people kind of take on their business, which is their baby sometimes. But if you have that mentality, like you said, and you can feel that, why am I going to be at it alone? There's all these good people that are going to help me with it. Then that's what you attract, right? That's I'm getting the gist of what you're explaining correctly.
Absolutely. And also, Yegi, you have to think about this. Whatever you're projecting out there, it's whatever you're feeling about yourself. So if you're not trusting people, why aren't you trusting yourself? Because I am trusting myself that I am attracting people who see me and who come here to support me. If you don't trust others, what is the doubt that you have about yourself? What are you?
I love that. I need to go back and think about that, because now I don't. But in the past, I know as a newer business owner, and I know a lot of new entrepreneurs do have that fear. Yeah. So I'm curious. I'm going to sit down and think about that one. What is really that's holding us back in the beginning to trust people with it? Is it because we're not confident enough in ourselves or our business? Maybe.
And it can be, this goes so much deeper, Yegi, so much deeper, like where we were raised, the way we were treated, and how do we, what kind of beliefs we are having. Maybe you have a belief that people will, take advantage of you, or they will not work as hard as you will work,
from past experiences, like you said.
Exactly. So you just get to
how do we change that? How do we change that and get into the mentality that we need to be to attract more abundance into our lives? And we can talk about the relationship with money for that reason. I think that's a big topic that you cover. So what would be your advice as a first step for that?
That's a very, very powerful question. And I feel like it really, if you want to change something in your life, you gotta change you. You get to change how you're feeling about things, because it all starts with the feelings. How you are feeling will create the thoughts that you're having. And from that, you will take certain actions. Like when you're feeling amazing and trusting and abundant, you're taking different actions than when you're sitting in scarcity and blaming the politics and the world and your ex-husband or whatever, right? Been there, done that. We are sitting in scarcity. We take different actions, and then the results are different because I am trusting. And even though I had a team of members, or even though I had a month that were lower, it was always like, I know this is happening for me. This is teaching me something. What is this teaching me? What am I learning from this? What am I learning from this so I don't feel like this ever again? You learn about boundaries, you learn about relationship with money. It's funny, I was just doing a post today about money on my Instagram, and I was sharing there that when you are treating money as a booty call, you're getting to hang up on. That's the thing. Treating money as a booty call. Now I want you. Now I don't. Now I need you. Now I don't. Now I care. Now I don't care. Now you're the root of the evil. Now I want to buy a new purse. So where are you? It's like, how are you treating money? Everybody will have different beliefs and different things that will resonate with you. Some people believe that money is energy. Some people see money as a relationship and partnership. That's how I see that. Because if you tell me money it's energy, I don't get it. I can be woo-woo, but still I'm like, what do you mean? Well, it's in my bank. It's in my investment accounts. Like, what do you mean it's energy? It's like there, right? So for me, it was easier to imagine money and what kind of relationship I have with it. Because the way you are treating money, would you like to be treated? Because very often we ignore money. We don't check up on it. How often do you look at your accounts? How often do you look at your credit cards, your loans? How often do you check in? If you're in loving, loyal, fulfilling, beautiful relationship, you check on your partner every single day. How are you expecting to say, oh, I want to make more money, but you never check on it? You don't have a relationship with it. And there is no trust. Back to the trust. There is no trust. There is no respect. There is no love. So
there's also a saying, it says, if you don't manage your money, it will manage you. So does this go back to that aspect of really knowing what you're doing with your money in order to manage it versus just letting it do what it wants to do in the background and you not knowing where things are going or coming from?
It's, I never heard that, saying that if you don't manage money, the money will manage you. It could be. I don't believe anyone can manage me. Good luck with that. Not even my husband. But that's just like a point of view, right? But I truly believe that we get to be, that saying, what we appreciate appreciates. That's what happens when you appreciate money. Like, I love making money because then I can take my team. Like, I took my team to 2 days vacation, all paid, all the foods, all, like, everything. I just like, let's go, because I can do that. I love investing in my people. I love investing money in other coaches and mentors and go on a retreat. I love circulating money. So it's like the more money you make, the more impact you can make, the more freedom you can make. I love investing. I'm monthly investing money in dogs because I love dogs. We invest money in Bali, in kids, in their education so they can, have a better lives. We even went to Bali in 2019 for a few weeks and we were teaching there with my husband in 5 schools. So the more money you make, the more impact you can create. And you just gotta see.
Of course, that part I get, obviously. Like, everybody wants to make more money. I think the hardest part of it is for people, and I've done some studying about money as well. So I know the background story about relationship with money, but what's difficult, I think, for people to understand, and I would love to get your point of view on it, is how do you kind of approach or change that relationship with money? Because, like right now, I say I love money too. I love getting money. It makes my life like so great, I could do more with it. If I have more, I could give more, I could make a more impact. But for some people who are not there yet, they might see money as something that's holding them back from experiences. They don't have it, so they can't be part of certain things, right? So where do you start? What advice would you give that person that has a bad relationship with money? Where do they start?
They start with dating money. That's how you start. You start changing that relationship with money. And I can send it to Yegi or your team. I have a freebie for, how to be creating the relationship with money. It's a part of my paid course. About money. And you just start with dating the money. Like me and my husband, like years ago, we started, and on the weekend, we take, hour or a couple hours off, and we put like candles around. And listen, it doesn't have to be long as hours. I know some people, they have kids and lives and everything. Take 20 minutes, take 30 minutes once a week.
If it's important to you, you would do it, right?
Yep.
Invest into the activities you want to see results from. So, okay, go on. That's very fun.
So we created that, and there's a lot of different ways how to do it, but we made it fun. We made it something to look forward to. We make ourselves tea or cacao, and we put like candles, music on, essential oils, our crystals, and we have a beautiful journal that it's only for money, when we like write a letter to money, write an appreciation. We celebrate the income that we have, or we celebrate if that week was no income. You celebrate the abundance in your life. You celebrate the richness, and it's so powerful. I want to share this. Because I just finished a call with one of my coaching clients. When she started to work with me, she was doing $100 a session, like single sessions that she was offering. Last month, she made $13,000. She never made that in her life. That's her first 5-figure month. And she said, like, last month, Petia, it finally clicked for me. Last month, I realized that it's not the money, but it's the essence of how am I feeling. Like, finally, everything I was telling her for the month, it clicked. And the thing is that she was thinking, when I have more money, I will enjoy my time with my family. When I have more money, I will enjoy my time, because she was traveling, She was like, I will enjoy. And she decided and declared, I will have fun even when the money is not here yet. So she was enjoying herself. She had fun. And that month, and she told me, Petia, I never work less in my life. Ever. It was all there. Like, it's just like I did 2 stories, and she's not very active on her social media either. She was like, I did 2 stories, and I had 7 women sign up for the certification program that I created for her, with her.
Wow.
So it was for her like, wow, Petia, like, finally I understand. So it's about, and she was doing the money days. She took my whole course about the money couple months ago, started to do that, started to do the money date, started to shift how she's feeling about money, and it finally clicked for her. So it's not about what do you do when you have more money. Write it down. Write all the things that you want to do when you have more money. Go and do it now. And it's not like, I will travel to Maldives when I have more money. Beautiful. I'm going to Maldives too. And why do you want to go to Maldives? Because I want to have a time by the water. Because I want to like time off with my beloved one. Because I just want it to be by, like experiencing things that are fun and enjoyable and eating delicious food. Great. Can you do it now? What is the essence of your desires? That is what you have to remember. You're not doing the things to have more money. You're doing to feel it certain way. What is the feeling? What is the essence? How can you create it now? Because when you're in that state of having it now, that's when you allow the money to come. Because 2 months ago, the same client told me, we had a coaching session. She was like, we did the beginning, we said the intention, and I'm like, what is on your heart right now? Like, I feel like heaviness, What is on your heart? What do you really want to focus on? She was like, I need money. I was like, no, you don't. You don't need money. That's not what you need. What do you need? It's trust. What do you need? It's walking your knowingness. What do you need? It's being confident. Because I told her a million times, she's a mediumship. She's a mediumship and she's very spiritual. She's doing astrology. She's amazing. I'm like, if I have 10 of your gifts, girl, I'm making 6-figure months. You're not walking into your confidence. Why you are telling me you need money? It's not about you need money. 2 months, next month she made $5,000. Next month she makes $13,000. It clicks
Wow, I love
when
this
you are in that
story.
trust and when you do the work, Yegi. It wasn't like she was meditating, praying for money to come to her. She did the money dates. She did the money course. I know it works. When I started to do all the things that I've been learning myself with my mentors, with the courses, I invested tens of thousands of dollars for past decade to grow.
And time on yourself, right?
Yes. I put it all in that course, and now it's creating a ripple effect and possibilities for others.
How beautiful. Honestly, that is so beautiful. That's your calling. It's your purpose to make that same impact and happiness that's caused by all of this change in other people's lives. That's very beautiful. Well, I know we're short on time and it's such a pleasure talking with you. I'll ask one last question because I know some people are still, when they've done the manifestation or are more a little bit spiritual, and things start working for them, they start believing in it more, or some people are more open-minded compared to others. But what would you say for those people who think it's like hokey or it's like taboo, like to be spiritual? What advice would you give people that may be questioning manifestation or the spiritual journey?
I absolutely hear you and I love you're asking this question because I'm like the biggest skeptic girl. I am like, I want to understand everything. I'm going to read about everything. I'm going to study about everything. So for me, I'm like, I get it. I didn't believe in manifestation either. But listen, do you believe in gravity? It doesn't matter if you believe in gravity or not. It's working anyway. And there is a scientific proof of you get what you focus on because your brain is focusing on it and bringing it into your attention. 5% what you're seeing and experiencing, it's your conscious mind. 95% it's your subconscious. Your subconscious is the one who is going to see the people, see the opportunity, see the path. But if you are blocking it, meaning you're not focused on it, if you feel like the abundant, it's not possible for you, or money is the root of all evil, or if you think like, oh, this is weird, this can work for others, not for me, well, that's the reality you're creating because you're declaring it and your brain will be bringing
You're
it
starting to believe
system.
it, so that's what you attract.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. Okay, last question and we can close. So, can you define, because people lately, more and more people are talking about manifestations, affirmations, and all of that positive self-talk. So if I could do one thing right now to take action towards my journey of manifesting a, let's say, happier life, right, for myself, what would that one step based on your advice be?
So I don't like generalizing and like cookie cutter, but I would say super important are 3 steps, which is going to work for everyone. The first step is get really specific. What did happier life look like for you? Because my happy life,
know what it
can
is.
be not like it's yours. So be really specific. Sit down, write it down or record it, whatever you like doing. Some people like speaking things into existence. Some like writing. I'm visual. I write. So be very specific and write down what your ideal day will really look like. And then take a highlight of the things that you already have. It will help you realize that so many of the things of your ideal life or the happier life you're already living. So the first step is be specific.
That will help you have more gratitude, right? And
Yes.
make you have that warm, fuzzy feeling where you'll be willing to work on to get the rest.
Yes. The second part would be general. Because not all of us are meant to be specific, and that would be like another whole podcast about, human design where I could explain if you're specific or non-specific manifester. Not all of us are specific. Specific can be very overwhelming for some. So just sit down and tap into generally. What generally your happy life would look like. Would it be, like I would love to be traveling more, or I would love to have a house close by the water. Don't be specific. Just what happier life would look like. Maybe it would be just like, I would love to be working with the people that I feel good with, or having a healthier relationship with my body, or having better romantic relationship. So the first is be specific. The second, be general. And the third one, that it's like tying the bow on the top, it's the feeling. And I talk about it. That's how my client was able to create 5-figure months. That's how I created my multiple 6-figure business. It's the feeling. What is the essence of it? When you're living your happier life, how do you feel? What is the feeling? And really tap into the feeling. I'm feeling lighter. I'm feeling like carefree. I'm feeling stress-free. I am feeling like there is no pressure. Like, how do you feel? So those are the 3 steps that we can each and every one of us do. And this is the part that I really invite you to listen to this podcast, pause and ask yourself, what is the one thing that inspired me today? What is the one thing I will do from this, podcast? Because Yegi's putting together all of this powerful, beautiful work for you to change your life, not to get inspired and then forget about it and go back to your misery and complaining. Take an action. Tag Yegi on your Instagram. Tag her and tell her, what did you take away from this? Tag me and tell me, like, what are you manifesting? What makes your life happier? Like, be accountable. Like, show up for yourself.
Take action and work on yourself if you want to change then a better life. Yeah. Well, Petia, you are amazing, and I can talk to you for hours and hours. I know we are limited on time, so we will close with this, and thank you again for being here. Please tell everybody where they can find you and connect with you, and we will close our podcast for today.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I loved it, and beautiful questions and interview. So my favorite place is Instagram. My name, Petia Kolibova. I know you'll put it in the show notes because nobody can pronounce it. Yep.
Yes, we will link all your information.
Everything. So my Instagram, or my website, there is everything. And my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant. So you can live your abundant life, So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for making a difference and sharing your journey with all of us today. We hope to connect with you soon.
Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.